So basically, the way the pandemic and the other situation has forced us to move from desktop accounting to cloud accounting. That is why the cloud accounting is becoming an integral part, which each one of us need to know. We might not be having any client right now which is in cloud accounting, or it is still in Tally, but here and then you might be getting like calls or a pitch that, do you know Zoho Books, or do you know QuickBooks? Can I do my accounting in cloud accounting? Will you be able to manage it? So these questions will come to you if it has not come yet, because people now do not want to limit themselves to one place, that unless they have a particular computer or a desktop, they won't be able to do their accounting. They want to do their accounting either through mobile or from their home, or if they are outstation, anywhere they are, they should be able to do their accounting, update their clients, or even if they're working for client, they should be able to let the client know whatever they're asking by just logging in. So that is what cloud accounting help us. When we talk about cloud accounting, many times the question comes in that even Tally is on cloud, so why don't we consider Tally to be cloud accounting? There is a difference between any software which is being hosted on cloud, like we are just keeping the database on cloud, but still the software has to be installed on your computer, and you need to have a server wherein if you are using a network, it should be in network so that you can use Tally. The only thing which we can do is the database is uploaded in any server, so that we can access the database anytime, even if we like install Tally in a computer which is not the one which is like having the paid version or an licensed version. But then that is not called cloud accounting. Whenever we are able to open a software by typing in Chrome or in any browser, just the URL, the way we open our Gmail, the way we open Make My Trip, the way we open any other site, if we are able to type in the same way in the Chrome or in any other browser, that is called cloud accounting. So you are not dependent on any computer. You don't need any high configuration computer. You don't need a particular computer to be connected to a network so that it can be accessed. You just need internet and a laptop or a computer so that you can log in and start working from anywhere. So let me share my screen. I'll just start with a brief like about cloud accounting. What are the benefits of cloud accounting? Before I proceed with the software, I'll then go with the software to show you few of the good features which cloud accounting software has. So as I just spoke, cloud accounting, I think my screen is accessible to all of you. Like, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Great. So cloud accounting system, as I just discussed, it is just internet based. It does not require anything else. You just need a browser, and it can also be installed on your mobile as an app, and you can also do certain part of things through your mobile itself. You don't need to even have a computer. Many times what happen, a client calls you and they want to pay you your bill, and you don't know the amount which is due from your client. How can you easily give them? Because everyone wants a prompt payment. Even from mobile, if I have my accounting on cloud and I am using mobile app of the same software, I can log in, send them the invoice again directly from there, or I can just tell them by logging in, this is the amount due, and they can pay us. So it benefits us as well. So even before having clients on cloud accounting, we should start our own accounting on cloud so that we get handled, and we are like, we know the software very well to handle it for the client as well. So we'll come later on Zoho Books, which is allowing quick like the Zoho Books for 3 years without any cost to chartered accountants, with all the premium versions, all the features, along with the payroll, Zoho invoice, and many other things which it is allowing to chartered accountants without any cost. And it is not for 1 year, for 3 years. So we'll see that as well. Now, obviously the question which comes in, which one is better, whether cloud accounting or desktop accounting? The way the world is moving, every software, whether it is Tally or any other software which is still on desktop, it has to come on cloud. Like I think last year there was a notification from ROC or from Income Tax Department, I do not remember, that any software, accounting software which we are using should have the audit history. We should not be able to switch off the audit history, and it should always be available. So there, though that notification got extended for a year or so, but surely that notification will come in future, since they have already placed it to us so that we can all get prepared. So these cloud accounting softwares are already ready with it. They have, all of them have audit trail features which cannot be switched off by us. Any entry, whatever we do, the date, time, and the transactions is recorded with the audit trail. And if we make any changes, it records each and every change, whether it is a date change, whether it is an amount change, whether it is the name change, description, accounts, whatever changes we make, it is easily visible from the software. We can easily go and check the audit trail. So we are getting ready for future in cloud accounting software. That is why it is coming up so much well all over India now. And now we don't need to install any software. We just go to internet, we log in, and we are there. It is highly accessible. Like we can access it anytime, anywhere. And as I told, including smartphones as well. So it's not restricted to our office, that when we are at office, then only we can do our accounting. We can do anytime. And moreover, it's real-time communication. That means as soon as you pass the entry, you do not need to exchange the data with your client again and again. As soon as you are passing the entry, client also have a login. They can access it there and then. Any kind of financials, if you have enter the transaction, your books are ready, you have reviewed the books, you don't need to even intimate the client. They can see your workings. They can see that their books are all up to date, their bank is reconciled, their bank balance is all good. They can make decisions. They can take financial decisions based on the financials which they are seeing themselves. They don't need to ask you for the financials again and again. Might be your role is just to review. Even if they are entering the transactions, you don't need to ask them to send the data again and again, so that you can check, review, and then finalize the GST or the returns, whatever. They just give you a credential as an accountant and you are good. It's cost effective. How? Because all the cloud accounting softwares are on SaaS model. That means we pay them as and when we use the service. We can pay them on monthly basis, we can pay them on annual basis. And suppose if we want to switch to any other software, we do not need to wait for the year end, since we have paid for the software for 1 year. So we cannot now get rid of it because it has already been a cost to us. No, we can switch to any software and we can stop paying them as and whenever we think that no, we want to switch from one cloud accounting software to the other. It's more secure, and the updates and are automatic. Like what happens whenever there is an update in a desktop software, you need to install the updates, or the update comes once a year when you renew the software. But here, whatever updates are coming in, whatever updates they make in the software, it is available there and then. You don't need to wait for it. If you have installed the software, and if the programmers are making any changes in the software, or the notifications, or the new laws, or the taxes, whatever they need to bring in, you don't have to do anything for it. It is just ready with your software whenever you log in. The very next day, if they have an update, it is with you. So it's like very much convenient for us. We don't need to go to and fro for anything. That why isn't this feature available to us? Moreover, how do we say it to be secured? The database is in a very secure place, which is not accessed by anybody. Our team, our client, whoever feels that my data is insecure, or if there is any kind of casualty in your office, if if there's a fire or any such thing, or if we take the COVID situation, we were worried about the database, how to take the database, because this entire thing happened suddenly. But then if you are into cloud accounting, you are not concerned about managing the database, taking the backup of database. Those things are not required at all. It's all there in their system. Whenever you want, you can take the entire backup in spreadsheet, and or you can convert the entire file from one software to the other without any hassles. So it makes your work much easier if you are using cloud accounting. Like, think the way we are able to book a movie ticket or a flight ticket. It's through Make My Trip or through Book My Show. So same way, cloud accounting has also given us same kind of experience, that if you're logging in, you are able to do anything. You don't need to log in into your bank again and again. You can sync your bank. We'll get into details of that. And your bank transactions are all in your accounting software. You just need to add those transactions to your books. So there's no loss, or there's no fear of any loss or damage of any data, because it is not there in our computer, which can crash, or hard disk which can crash, or the like the downtime if we have kept the database on server somewhere in cloud. So there are chances of downtime, because it is connecting to the server and then it logs in. It takes some time to connect. You, when you are using your desktop software, if the database is on cloud, it takes time to connect, and your work, whatever you are trying to do, is slow. But when you are using cloud accounting, it is made in such a light platform that you won't even feel any downtime. If your internet is good, you are all good. And in these days, we all know that one thing which we all have is internet. We cannot live without it. So that becomes easy for us. Now, a few processes which can be automated using cloud accounting software is your payments, collection of your payments from the customers, because it syncs with the bank, it integrates with the bank. You can directly send link of invoices to the customer. Customer can click on that link, and if you have taken the payment gateway of the accounting software, they can directly make the payment there and there. The reportings are so easy, like be it any kind of desktop software, it cannot give you that experience of reports which these cloud accounting software can give, because that data is in such a format that it becomes very easy for them to give you analytical reports, to give you dashboard reports, to give you financials with so many various options. Like, you just think of a report and the report is ready. You don't need to pull the report, then prepare a spreadsheet and then do the workings. No, whatever reports you want along with few graphs and other options, it is available. Moreover, when you pull the report and in spreadsheet, the best part is it is coming with the formula. If you change any numbers, if you have to make any adjustment in the spreadsheet, what do you see? That your financials are ready, and then you can easily convert it into any like graphs or whatever you want. So reporting is really good in this cloud accounting softwares. Practice management, it is like one stop solution for so many things. You can just not do your accounting, you can also do your project management. Your team can enter time, and they can use it in such a way that you don't forget to bill any customers. So suppose you have a project wherein it is billable based on the hours spent by the team or the man hours used. So whenever team is working on that particular project, they can fill in their time and they can tag the customer. So whenever you try to invoice the customer, that comes in front of you, that this is the time which you have still not invoiced. Do you want to invoice them? You have options of like, suppose you need to invoice the customer at the month end, but you are doing the work for the customer throughout the month. You have the option of keeping the invoices ready, though it won't be posted in your books. It's like a future invoice wherein you are entering the details as and when you work, and at the month end, you see that your books are like your invoice is ready, you just post it. So the customer gets it. You don't have to first create the invoice, print it, sign it, and then send to the customer. You don't need to do anything. You can just auto set them that the invoices gets created automatically on a particular date, and then those invoices automatically goes to customers in their inbox. Everything can be automated. It's nothing that we need to do. It's how best we can use this software to our advantage. That is only what we need to learn. Once we know that, we are all ready. So as I discussed, invoicing can be created, edited, and mailed to the customer just in few clicks. And you can make those transactions as recurring, wherein it's like you can use them as template. You don't need to worry. Once, if you have a recurring customer whom you need to send the invoices of same amount again and again, why would you take that pressure of creating the same invoice again and again every month? Not at all required. You just set them as a recurring transactions, and that transaction itself get created every month as based on the date what you specify. Same goes for expenses. There are few expenses which we all know is of recurring nature, and we need to make that expense. We cannot escape them. There's no chance of reduction of amount like rent or any such monthly installments of any kind of loan. So those transactions can also be set to be auto created every month, and so that whenever you see the banking transaction, it shows a match that your books are all ready. So we can automate it to a great extent. And then with these reports, you can have an option of auditing, like it allows you to data, like analyze the data, and it gives you a much better experience of reporting than any other desktop software. Today, we'll try to show you some good features which QuickBooks and Zoho Books have. Like they both have their own advantage. They both are really good, doing good in cloud accounting software. If I talk from India perspective, Zoho Books is coming up very well because it's providing us 3 years without any cost. Zoho Books, which will make us ready to use it, to get ready and have all lots of like kind of experience on that, so that whenever customer asks us, they just need to purchase their Zoho Books and give us a credentials or our login, and we can use them. So we are not actually incurring any cost to first learn the software, because Zoho Books is providing us without any cost. So these are few benefits of cloud accounting software, which we just discussed. I won't take much time on that. Mobile access at any time, cost and time effective. It's watertight security, like it's secured. If you like, I got a chance to visit Zoho Books and their server, like the place where they have their servers, and the way it is secured, the way they take the backup and manages everything, it's huge. So we don't have to worry at all. Like, do we worry? We log in and we do banking transactions through our mobile, through our laptop, computers, and our money goes out. So if we are not worrying on those, we don't know where is our money going, and we don't know how secure it is. If we can trust those banking sites, which are prone to so much of thefts or any kind of cyber attacks, so why are we worried about these? Here we don't have anything to lose. Like our money is not going to go anywhere, because there is no kind of banking transaction which is happening unless we unless we want to use those kind of features. And moreover, it is like something wherein you are just putting your financial data, and there is no one who would be misusing it, because it is with rights and permissions given by you to the extent they if you don't want to give them access to any reports, they can't. They can just make the data entries, so they don't have any options to even pull the reports or have those access. Though this thing is also available in desktop version, but then your team members or anyone who wants to play with those data, they have easy access to data, they can easily take it if they want. But here those chances are very rare, and it reduces human error, because it's like automation which allows us to reduce the human error to a great extent. Sharing and collaboration is very easy. So suppose your management, suppose you are looking for few reports every bi-weekly or monthly basis or weekly basis, and every time you need to ask your accountant for that report. I got a chance to set QuickBooks for one of the clients in Mumbai itself, and that client was using Tally, and he wanted to shift to QuickBooks. And the major reason was he was looking for few reports every time from his accountant, and the accountant was so busy always that if he's looking for a reports this week, he would be able to give it next week. So once he had QuickBooks all set, we had set his reports in such a way that it goes to his email box every week. He does not need to ask his accountant anymore. The accountant just need to be sure that the books are updated on time, and the management and the owner is ready with the reports. They don't need to ask anybody. It reduces your paperwork and make more sustainable. That means, like, whenever you are entering your transaction, this cloud accounting is also a first step towards paperless office. How does it help us in that? Because, like, whenever you are entering any transaction, whether it is creating an invoice, whether it is creating a bill, whether it is creating an expense, they give you an option to make an attachment to that invoice or bill. So whatever you have in paper, or many times nowadays you are receiving most of your bills over the email or over the phone. So you don't need to even download or print it. You just save it and upload it into your cloud accounting software. So this makes your office paperless. Moreover, whenever you want that document, you don't need to search so many files. You don't need to take help of others. That can you search this invoice for me? Like, in one of the this is again a practical situation which we faced. A client, like, it suddenly the laptop which he was using got stopped. It was stopped working, and the invoice, it took almost 2 days for his admin department to find the invoice of that laptop, because that was within warranty. But if the customer was using cloud accounting, it was so easy for them that whenever they created that invoice, they would have attached that laptop bill to it, so that whenever the laptop is not working, they can log in from anywhere. They are not dependent upon their laptop. They log in, they take the invoice, they call the customer care, and the laptop is repaired there and then. They don't need to wait for a day or two and depend upon the team members to provide them the invoice. So it gives you a better understanding of financial position because the reports are so strong. We won't repeat it, we will see that. Now, these are the some unique features which cloud accounting software has, which we will surely go over directly in the softwares. It syncs your bank and credit card. It integrates with so many third-party app. So now the way world is moving, many businesses are now shifting to online business. Even if someone had a store, they now are also opening like selling their products over Amazon, Flipkart, and those other sites. So like, there are duplicacy of accounting. Once you are creating invoices or whatever you have in your Amazon site as a vendor, as a person who is selling the products over Amazon, you need to then pull those reports and pass entry into your accounting software. But then when you are using cloud accounting software, these things becomes very easy. You can integrate with those third party apps, so that once the invoices are entered, they just need to click, or like on the weekly basis, daily basis, or by like every 2 days, they just need to click a button, and all the invoices or whatever payments has been received all get synced with the details in your accounting software. So it helps you to replicate or like do the duplicate actions. It helps you in that. You can set templates like invoices, whatever you have. You can add your logo, you can change the format, font size, font colors, and you can make it look more like what you are expecting when you want to print a good invoice. Whenever you want to like, earlier, whenever we wanted to create an invoice, we had printed invoices. We would get the invoice print and create it manually. So it was little like, it was something wherein you could have your personal preferences. I wanted my logo, I wanted my my address to be in this font, my company name to be in this font. I wanted a message at the bottom to say thank you to my customers or something like that. We can all set these templates here in the accounting software. You have various plans. So based on your business needs, based on what you need, you can choose a plan. Like, your customers can choose a plan. They don't need to always pay whatever, like they might in these desktop softwares. We are too much restricted. We need to take all their features. They do not have various pricing options based on the features which they have. So might be a client is too small, they don't need a budgeting option or any such things, but still they are paying for it. But here in cloud accounting software, they don't need to pay for it. They are paying it for the features which they need. If they think, they can always upgrade to the higher version when their business grows and they think that I now need a higher version. Now, what I was talking about, that Zoho Books has integrated with ICAI, and it has now allowed us to use Zoho Books with their payroll free of cost for next 3 years. So I will give the link of how can you log in into Zoho Books with your membership number. What only you need is your membership number, and you can log in without any cost. I'll give the URL in chat so that anyone can try right now. And if they face any problem, they can contact me. My number is with Med3. They can take my number as well. I hope the link has gone to the participants who has joined the meeting, because I selected to everyone.
Yes, it's received here.
Great. So I would surely say that please try to use Zoho Books for your own organization at least. Being a chartered accountant, we need to upgrade ourselves, and we need to know cloud accounting now. So you just need to have your membership number, and it's very easy to sign in. Put your firm's name, email address, membership number, contact number, password, and that's it. You are done. You can sign in. Now, if you have GST and if you have branches, with this free version, it is always also allowing you to manage different GSTN number for your company. If you have different branches with different GSTN number, it all can be managed in this Zoho book. You don't need to have different softwares for the same. Now let's see. Over here, if anyone have any questions, they can type in chat. We can answer that. Here are a few questions. I think we should take it at the end. Maitri?
Sarita, if you look in the chat box, there's one, not chat box, Q&A box.
Yeah, I'm saying there are a few questions over there. Should I answer them now?
No, if you think that this is going to help right now, then you can answer right now, or else we can take it later.
Okay, so I'll take it after 15 minutes. Let me show some features, and
Sure.
then we can take up these questions. So now let's first go to Zoho Books and see a few good features of Zoho Books. Just a minute. So here we have Zoho Books, and let me show you a few features over here. They over here have an option called Documents. In this document, you can scan your expenses, bills, or whatever you want, and you can store it over here. What happens is, with this bill, we can directly create expenses or bills, whatever we want. How does this help? So many times when we go to the when we go to for any purchase, we pay by credit card. Those credit card bills, slowly and slowly the ink gets faded and we are not able to read it, or we might lose it because those are very small. We want to enter those expenses, might be a meal or whatever, it might be for business purpose. So what we can do is, if we have mobile app, and if we can scan that and upload it over here, so whenever we sit and do our accounting, we can directly create on click on that image, and we can process it. We can create a bill for that. We can create an expense for it. Since it is already paid, we might want to add it as an expense. So once we scan it, it has the attachment, so you never lose the attachment. Then you come over here and you click on new expense. You can always add those expense. And the best part is, it has the OCR feature. That means it recognizes the character in your bill and it enters the stuffs whatever it can. You don't need to enter the memo, notes. See, whatever it can read clearly, it will surely add. So suppose this customer was already added in my system, it would have, the vendor, it would have also taken the vendor name over here. But since this vendor does not exist, it did not take the vendor name. But besides that, it could take the amount. It is a USD dollar bill, so it took the USD dollar, it took the date of the bill, it took the invoice number, it took the notes, and what I need to enter is just the expense and the vendor. And the vendor would also have been taken by the OCR. Since we did not create this vendor yet, it is not able to take it. Now, one more benefit is, if for the same vendor you are entering bill twice or thrice, it will also recognize the expense account where you are coding that particular vendor always. It will also fill that expense account for you. So it makes your work so easy. You don't need to do the repetitive task again and again. So this way, we can have the attachment, we can have the OCR read for us, and we just, what did we do? Whenever we made the expense, we just scanned it from our mobile and kept it in the document place. The entire thing is done. This was one of the feature which I wanted to show you. Now let's go to banking tab. See, you can sync your endless bank and credit cards over here. It's so easy to sync. What do I need to do is, I just need to add bank or credit card. I select my bank and credit card, and after that it is auto driven. So suppose I select this bank, it will like, first I need to create an account for it, because I did not create any Axis Bank account. But once I create it, I just click on I agree to end user and I click on continue. It will ask me my user ID and the password. The password which it is asking is not the transaction password. It is the login password which I use to log in into my bank. So that is the password it is asking. Once I connect it, every time whenever I want to update my books, I don't need to log in into my bank. My bank is already here with the transactions. What I only need to do is, I need to click on the bank over here, and I need to update the feed, like update the transactions. So I refresh the feed from here. Once I refresh the feed, all the transactions from the last date, whenever I last sync the transaction, all the transactions comes over here in uncategorized section, and then I can just add them to my accounts. Remember one thing, whenever you are adding a bank and whenever the transaction comes, when you sync the transactions for your bank, these transactions are not already entered in your books. These transactions stays over here just like a template, and now it's up to us whether we want to add them or match it. So now suppose, let me give you an example. Now these two transactions. So suppose this transaction, I have already entered, I knew the details about this transaction, and I have already entered in my books as a deposit. So in that case, I would not like to duplicate the transaction. What will happen is, as soon as I click on this transaction, it will auto show me that there is a match transaction for this amount. Since it did not find match, I did not enter this transaction, it did not give me a match. But as soon as it finds a transactions match, it will give me all the details over here. I can see that, yes, I've already entered this transaction. I check it off and I match it. That means I am not entering the transaction again. It is confirming me that this transaction which you entered in your books is now also matching with your bank. That means this transaction has cleared your bank. So this is helping me to keep my bank balance up to date, so that I can issue checks anytime. If my fund is less, I know that my bank needs fund, I need to deposit money, or there's a customer's money which is going to come in. So these things become so easy. Now it's not only bank, we are also in India slowly and slowly moving to plastic money. It's credit card also which we can sync. There are, like, we have started using for business credit cards very extensively. So we can also sync the credit card, and the credit card transactions can also be entered from here directly. So you don't need to bother that every month you need to wait for your statement. Your credit card statement comes in, by that time you might have forgotten few of them, that why did you use, or why did you pay this particular amount. You don't need to worry about it. You can sync it on weekly basis, add those transactions for your credit card, and your credit card transactions are all in. So this way your banking screen helps you a lot. You can also set auto accepting of the transactions which come in your bank. So suppose you might have mutual fund running with you, and you know that the SIP which I have in my bank, the same amount will be deducted from my bank every month. So you don't need to even bother. You can set those transactions to be auto accepted as soon as it comes in your bank. So once you set that up, the auto transactions get entered from here. So you have options to set these transactions to be auto added in your bank. Now, if some of you do not feel secure to sync your bank over here, you also have an option to auto upload your bank statement from email, or upload your bank statement if you have downloaded it from your bank site. If you are not only forced that you have to sync, then only your banking transaction will be over here. You have other options as well. That means you can come over here and you can upload your statement, so that once you upload your statement, you will see all the transaction in uncategorized category. And once you accept them, they all come over here. So you see over here the difference. First screen says uncategorized transaction from bank statement. That means these transactions are still not entered. And whatever you enter comes over here. It says all transactions in Zoho Books. So it shows me all the transaction which has been categorized. That means I have accepted it from here. It was added in my bank. And this is a manual entry. This I did not accept or add from my banking screen. That means it is a manual entry. So you can easily understand which entry was manual entry, which entry has been categorized, which entry has been matched. So see over here, this transaction was already entered by me in other bank. So over here, I did not have to enter this transaction. I just matched it. So it is showing me as match. That means it was already there, I just matched. Categorize means this transaction came into my bank. It was not there in my books. I categorized it and accepted it. And manually added means I did not use the banking screen. This transaction was manually added. Now, suppose you know that your books are all up to date and you synced your bank, but now you do not want to accept this transaction, categorize this transaction, or you want to just clean the screen. What you can do is you can select them. You also have an option to exclude. You're not always forced that if you all up to date, still you need to clear this process. No, if you think you have reconciled your bank, you did not sync your bank, going forward you want to use it, any transactions for prior date, you can just click it and exclude it. So this way your banking work becomes so easy. I don't need to log in into my bank again and again and then start working on it. So that was one of the things which I wanted to show you. Now let's move further. I was talking to you about time tracking. Here it is, where we can track the time for any projects. So we can create a new project, and when the team starts working, we can give them their user ID and password, and they can log in the project. They can create the project and they can start logging in. They can like just click on the time and they can start logging in. They want to stop, they can stop it, and then it will ask you that the time which you have started and recorded over here, which project do you want to enter that transaction for. So if you have the transaction, if you have created a new project, you can add this. And if the task which you have done is billable to the customer, I check on this box. And if I know that the task which I have done right now, it is not billable, it was something which I can't bill, so I can uncheck this box. So I have both the options. Now in projects also, when you create the project, you have options to create as many tasks for the project as you want. So suppose you have a big project, in that you might have 20 steps, 20 tasks, like a big audit which might have come in, which you need to complete in a month or so, and you have 10 tasks to do. You can create all those tasks and you can mark which task is in-house and which task is billable to the customer. So you can have all these options over here. And then anything which I want to see in my dashboard on the first page, I mark it as add to the watch list on my dashboard. So I can always track the status of this particular project over here. And if I want to add to a particular project another user of the team, which I know will be managing the project, I can add that user to the particular project so that it can only be accessed by that particular person. Now, we can also have a cost and revenue budget for any project. We know that this project, we want to have a revenue budget, that what is the amount we want to charge to the customer and what is the cost we want to incur. So we can do that, and we can also budget the projected hours for the particular project. So that means so many things which we try to manage through Google Sheet, through spreadsheet, or some of us manually, nothing needs to be done. We can do all those stuffs over here at one place. So this was about time tracking. Now let's see about accountants tool. So what happens many times when you are doing accounting, so you are not entering transaction, it is your team member who is entering transactions on your behalf. They might make mistake. They might make mistake like when they're entering transaction for your customer, and it is for like so many months altogether. They are doing a kind of write-up for the whole year. One particular vendor should be coded to a particular expense, but the entire thing has been coded instead of meals to travel or anything else, vice versa. We can bulk update them all at one place. So what we can do is we can filter the transaction, which account was wrongly coded, where do we want to code, what was the date range for which they made the mistake, search those transactions, select them, and move them all together to another place. So even if there are bugs or errors, those all can be tracked very easily over here. We don't need to wait. Now, another important thing which I wanted to show you is the search option, which is here in Zoho Books. Like, it has all possible searches which we can think of. If you are thinking, if you just like you are trying to search a particular thing, but you do not remember much about it and you don't know where to search for. So if you remember a part of it, you can just select that particular part, and you can suppose I want to check an item. So I select the item, I put the item name, and I click on search. I get everything related to that item. Suppose I want to like for the payment received, I remember the amount which I'm looking for. So I put the range and I click on search. So I get all the possible amounts for that, like all the amounts for which I've put on over here, and I can search the entire thing. If I remember the customer's name, I can put the customer's name and then I can put the amount. So my search becomes little filtered, and I easily get the result which I'm looking for. So search option over here allows you to search the entire software for whatever thing you want. Now, I'll just take you quickly through this software so that you know where you find what. This is the add button, which gives you the all possible entry or transaction screen from here. Whatever kind of entry you want to do, you want to create masters, you want to create sales, you want to create purchases, you want to do banking transactions, all the kind of transaction screen is seen from here. So it's right on the top. Then if you are trying to find the preferences or setting sections, you go to settings over here, then you have preferences over here, then you have another taxes over here for your GST and other kind of taxes. If you are trying to use multi-currency, you can go to currencies and have other currencies feature as well. You can have one home currency and then you can add other countries' currency so that you can invoice in any other currency and you can see repos in your home currency. So those features are also available. If you're trying to add more users, you come over here with defining their roles. If you are trying to add a branch, remember one thing, if you are trying to add a branch, you need to have a GST number. Unless you have a new GST number, the branches features won't be, we can't use it unless we have different GST number for different branches. And then for all other stuffs, you have a preference section over here wherein you can go in, you can check in whatever you want. If you want to use the inventory feature, you can come here and switch it on. If you want to sign the document digitally, you can use over here. If you want to have some extra features for your customers and vendor, if you want to have some custom button, custom fields, you can create it over here. For branding, you can upload your logo, your theme. What we were talking about is the invoice part, like automating your invoices. So this can be done from here. This helps for branding as well as for better looking of your invoices. You have the general settings over here, then you have different options over here. So these are the preference sections. Any kind of new notification that you have comes over here. What have they newly updated? If they have any kind of webinars which they will be running for a new feature, you can see over here. You can attend those webinars as well. Any kind of updates on GST sections, they keep updating it over here. So you can always check the notifications, go over it. You have a quick update about how things are going around. And since if you are an accountant and you want to add your other clients so that you don't need to log in. So suppose you are working as an accountant and you have other clients who are using Zoho Books. You don't need to remember all different passwords for your different clients. What you can ask the client is to add you as an accountant with the same email ID from which you are using for your Zoho Book. So what happens is you will have one by one all your clients added over here, and whichever client you want to switch to, can switch from one screen. You come over here, you see all the different clients over here. You just click on it and you are into that particular client's Zoho Books. You don't need to log out, again, log in. Those things need not be done. If you are trying to check on any historical transactions you see over here, what are the recent transactions entered, you can click on it and you directly go to the transaction details. So here is the transaction which was done. I edit it and I see the transaction details. So now see over here, what I was talking about is whenever you enter any kind of transaction, this is the place where you can attach the receipt. So if it is an expense, you can add the receipt. If it is an invoice, you can add like any kind of arrangement. Whenever you're creating a customer, you might have a mandate, you might have an agreement with your customers, yearly agreement or something like that. While creating customers, you can attach those documents. So all the things are at one place. You are not running here and there with different stuffs. Now, after this, let's go to report section. Now see over here, you have so many reports. You just think about the report and all the reports are here. So if you are looking for any particular report, you type in over here and it gives you the report if it is available, or else you can scroll and see it. I think the report was activity log. Yep. So I was trying to show you this activity log and then we'll come back to the reports. This is something which I was talking about, that whatever we are doing, it keeps a log of it. You do not have any option to delete this part of the software. You might edit a transaction, you might delete a transaction, but whatever you are doing, even if you are logging in, it creates an activity log that you logged in at this time, you logged out at this time. It creates each and everything. So if for any transaction which you edited, for future to answer to the auditor, you want to keep a note. Why did you edit it? What was the reason behind it? You can add a temporary note to any transaction. And when you go to the audit log, you can customize it to check for like a particular date or month. You can go to advanced filter. You can check for which user. Suppose you know that some of the user might have entered wrong transaction, or you want to see which all user entered transaction today. So you can check on the user, you can see the user, and then putting the filter, you can search further that whether this person went in and did the work or not. So you have a detailed activity log over here in the system. It helps you. You can also export this. You can schedule the activity report to be emailed to you wherever you see this option of scheduling. That means you have an option of emailing it to yourself. And if you want to add to someone else as well to that email, you can. You can mention the date, time, frequency when you want this report to be emailed to you and in which format. If you are just looking to view it, PDF, if you want to further work on it, you can export or email yourself in Excel as well. So all possible options are available over here. This activity log, very soon we all will need it, because now the activity log feature as per notification would be soon implemented, and then all the auditors and everyone would have to go to audit log, activity log, and ask questions to the customer or the company for whom you are doing the audit. So this is a very important feature which we need to know about. Now let's see reports. Here you see the profit and loss and the balance sheet available both in the Schedule 3 format and in the normal format. So I click on profit and loss, and whatever I want, I can customize it. So I open the profit and loss, I customize it. If I want to see on cash or accrual basis, I can directly do over here. It doesn't matter whether you are doing your accounting on accrual basis or cash basis. If you at any point of time want to see your financials on cash basis, you can always come over here and check on financials as cash basis and filter it for accounts without zero balance. That means only show those ledgers wherein you have transactions. You can choose the date range, whatever you want. You can compare it. So if you want to compare this year with previous year, you can do the same. If you want to compare one quarter with the other quarter, you can choose previous periods, add more advanced filter for the reporting tax, and then check the report. So once you have the report ready, you can schedule it to be emailed. Same way, the way we saw the activity log, same way this report can also be scheduled. So you can create a group of reports which you need every weekly, the reports which you need every monthly, and you can schedule them. You can share the reports. with the user, with the permission, what they can do. And same way you can export the report. The way the options which they are giving you to schedule the report, same options are available over here if you want to directly export it. So you can export it in prior version of Excel, in the newer version of Excel, in the PDF, whatever you want, you can do. So these things really help us in checking the reports. And if you see, they are having so much like extensive reports, and they keep adding on the reports as and when the request goes to them, they start adding new reports to it. So these are the new reports which they recently added: payable summary, payable details, timesheet profitability. All these reports, few of the reports are new. Wherever you see these new, that means they might be in testing process. You might find for a few days some kind of bugs and all, but whatever reports you want, and if you think that report is really important and all the other firms might also need it, you can always write to Zoho Books and they work on it. Now if you see over here, you have some advanced analytics reports. This is full of graph and charts for your business. So these have, here you have few good dashboard reports wherein you can see your financials in a dashboard format. The reports which we work, we prepare, we might need help of experts, are already over here. So to prepare these pretty dashboards, we really need to work hard. What we try to do is, we try to have someone who are really good in Excel, give them the numbers, give them the idea. Can you give me this graph? Can you give me this thing? Can you give me this table? Can you give me some kind of snapshot? But here you have all these of things. You can edit them. You can change it for the months which you want to see. You can check it for one particular account, whatever you want to see. So it is totally up to us how we want to use this financial dashboard. Each one of them have some edit options. If I think this report is good for me, I can make it larger and see a better view of it. If I just mouse over it, I see all the details. So it becomes so easy. We are having the features of Excel. We are having the features of like good dashboard softwares, which we are some of us might be using it all over here at one place. Now, moreover, Zoho Books, which is free for chartered accountants for 3 years with premium version, they are also allowing us to run the payroll of our team members, I think up till 25 employees without any extra cost. You don't need to have another software for your payroll. It takes care of your PTAX and other stuffs. Like it's the entire payroll section wherein you can enter the time, or you can enter the salary, you can enter the days, approve salary and make payment directly from here. Now, if I talk specifically about Zoho Books, it has integrated with few banks like ICICI, Standard Chartered, and I think recently HSBC as well. From where if you are using those banks and you use this feature, you don't need to log in into bank. You can make your payments directly from Zoho Books. You can have the customers pay you directly and the transactions get entered. They get the link, they just click on the link the way we get the link for making any payment, and we make the payment. So all those features are available over here in Zoho Books. So just try using it, and just by logging in here in the home page, you see so many informations about your business. Whatever you want, you can add in the watch list. You can add the project into this watch list. It has sections for everything. You can have all your bank balance checked over here. You can see your financials, how is it working on accrual and cash. You can see your top expenses, and you can see your cash flow, the most important thing which we all need to know. What is my cash flow? The way the things are coming up, since we work for the US accounting, like now people are not looking for more than the current status of your books. They are looking for your forecast. They are looking for accountants to prepare their 3 years forecast, their budgeting, their cash flows. So these softwares are really helpful for us to satisfy the client's new need, which is coming up. So this was few features which I showed you. I would now go to questions, and then I'll take you quickly to QuickBooks. I'll read one by one. First, I'm reading the questions from Suresh Mehta. Does it not require the approval from the other party to say a debit note? Like the approval things are totally up to you. So suppose you are creating a debit note and you want to send it forward so that they can approve it. Yes, you can. One part which I did not show you yet is you can create portals for your customers and vendors so that they can log in and they can check their transactions with you live. They don't need to even ask you what is the status of like their invoices, whatever invoices you have created for them. They can check it from there. They can check their details of their addresses, their contact numbers, whether that is up to date or not, whether the payments which they have made, whether you have entered that in the system and their statement is up to date or not. They can see it. If they want to print a statement which is required at the year end, they can print the statement directly from their portal. So we can, whenever you go and create a customer, if I go and create a customer, I have an option wherein I can create the customer portal. So that customer can log in directly, enable portal. So whenever I click on enable portal, one thing which is mandatory is for client to have an email. Otherwise, how would they access it? Like they control it by email. Whenever you are signing in for free Zoho Books, remember one thing, the email ID which you use should be unique. You should not have used that email ID ever before to log in into Zoho Books. Use a unique email ID to log in into to create your new Zoho Books for the free account. If they find that email ID being used earlier, in that case, you might not be able to use free for 3 years. Then it will just provide you free for 15 days. So remember to use a unique email ID. So coming to next question, who pays for the data entry? The output is used by shared multiple parties at a time. Who pays for data entry? I did not get you. Like the cloud accounting software is, suppose you want to use Zoho Books for your client. Your client is paying for the software. They are giving you an access as a user, as an accountant. You don't need to pay for that particular login or the accountant user which client is creating for you. The output is used by shared multiple parties at a time. Yeah, so all of them have their own access. Like the kind of features which you take based on the kind of like pricing option which you take, they also say you the number of users which you can create, the number of logins which they will be allowed. So when you go and click on settings and you create users profile, so based on the version which you have, you can create those many users. You don't need to pay separately for them, and each users can be defined a role. So each one of them can do their particular part. What about the entries in the bank account? I think this question is already answered with what I showed in banking section. You can sync your bank, you can add the transactions, and you can accept the transaction, you can match them, you can have them as recurring transactions. So bank account is very easy to maintain in any cloud accounting software. Another question is, can multiple companies be maintained in these cloud apps? Just like in Tally, wherein number of company books can be open. No, this is one thing which we all need to remember. Any cloud accounting software, one login, one purchase, it's for one company. You might want to purchase 3 companies together so that you can create 3 companies. But if you're purchasing one login, you're paying it for one company. You're not paying it for multiple companies. You cannot do that. You cannot have multiple companies account maintained by purchasing one Zoho Books. Each one will have their own login. And the way it works outside India, same thing would surely come in India. Like clients purchases the accounting software and they pay for it and they give us access as an accountant. As an accountant, I have the entire access. So they create my role as an accountant and they add me as a user with my email ID. I get the access. I now need not have any software in my office to run to check my client's book. Each client will give me access in the same ID and I can check all my clients from one ID. So that is surely possible. But yes, you need your client, each individual client needs to purchase for their companies. How are the head of the accounts determined? Is it automatic or is it one required to enter these heads? So Sureshi, like your question, I'm not sure for which section you are asking. The accounts can be created from your chart of accounts. You create the accounts over here. And the best part is here in the accounts, we can also give them numbers so that we can arrange the accounts the way we want. And when you are adding the transactions from bank, if the same kind of transaction is accepted again and again, it gives you the suggestion of the account to which that particular vendor or the customer you have coded to. So you don't need to enter those accounts again and again. And you can also duplicate the transactions over here. So suppose you are entering a sales, you might the amount might change, so you don't want to make it a recurring transactions. You just want to use the earlier one, change the amount, and then save it. So you just need to click the prior invoice and you can clone it. That means you can use this transaction to create a current invoice. So that will help you to use this one. See, you have an option of cloning. So you just clone it and it gets created. If you want, you can make this as a recurring so that it gets auto created. If you want to attach a file to this transaction, you can attach a file to this transaction. So let's see, I have created one recurring transaction. So what happens, this transaction itself gets created without my interference on the last date of the month. And it shows me when will the next invoice date come and the status, whether I am still using this recurring transaction. Whenever I want, I can stop using this recurring transaction when I know that I am not required to use it anymore. So when you go to create a new recurring transaction, you see a whole lot of options available over here. You can create recurring transactions. You can select a customer. You can give this a name, that this just to name the template, the way you save the Excel file, same way, so that you remember which recurring transaction is related to which particular customer or which particular services. Then you can set the frequency of repeat, start date, end date, and the payment terms. You can select your items over here. You can add another line, you can add multiple lines, you can give the quantity, rate, amount, and any note which you want, any terms and condition which you want, and you can save it. So when we save it, I don't do anything. This invoices, as soon as it is created, I get an email in my inbox. I have not to do anything, and I just get a reminder, oh yes, my invoices are created and it is saved. Let me show you, see over here. So auto-generated invoices, dear customer, the recurring invoice for your customer cloud has been created. You can review the invoice and send it to the customer. So if I wanted to send it directly to the customer, I could have set it while setting the recurring transaction, so that instead of me, it would it would have sent it to me as well as to the customer. I selected the option to attach it as a PDF, so it has come as a PDF. If I'm logged in into my quick Zoho Books, I can click on this and it will also open the view of the invoice for me.
Yeah, Sarita ji, I think I'll just extend the question. Maybe he's asking regarding this bank statement which get imported into the software. So rules, maybe setting up of rules for automatically posting in the correct account head. Maybe like if that could be shown, like can we set rules, and if yes, how, you know?
Yeah. So if you go to banking over here, and suppose I go to this particular ledger, as soon as I enter the transaction over here, so suppose I want to enter this expense. So it's a credit card payment. Let me not add this. So suppose I enter this transaction. I select the details, I select from account. So I enter this deposit from interest income. I select this interest income. As soon as I go to save, it gives me an option that whether I want to set rule for this transaction. See over here, categorize this transaction when, create new rule. So when I'm creating this rule, it has already captured all the part which I entered while entering the transaction. So now I'm just giving this rule a name. So what happens is this is the criteria based on which they have set it. If I want, I can make some changes over here. Whenever the amount is equal to 2507.93 and the description contains this is directly taken from my bank. I want to add this transaction itself. So if I save this rule, what will happen? Those transactions will automatically get created, right? And if I do not want, I just skip it. I know this is one time and I don't want to create a rule, I might skip it. So this is the way it takes. So it has entered this transaction in interest income, and for future, whenever same kind of transaction come, it won't be able to accept or add by itself because I did not set the rule for it. Whenever I want, I can set the rule so that those transactions, particularly it takes this interest like this ledger, which I added, which I selected while adding the transaction. And based on that, it make the changes. I hope I answered that question. Next question.
Yeah. So next question is by Krishna Kumar
Mr. Narayan.
Narayan. What about
Yeah.
storage limits and accessibility in future? How long will historical data be retained? Does higher capacity come with cost?
So basically, for you as a chartered accountant, presently what you are using it is obviously free without any limits. But surely when you go to zohobooks.com and you go to pricing, over there it gives you the limit. There are few limits like the number of invoices or the number of bills which you can create, and after that they charge you something extra. But then the historical data is endless. Till the time you're using Zoho Books, it allows you to access all the prior data. I'll show you a quick books wherein, so this, just a minute, I need to re-log in. It has signed me out. Whether it is Zoho Books or QuickBooks, why am I showing you QuickBooks? Because I have transaction for past so many years. That is why I'm just showing you in QuickBooks. Otherwise, the same thing is for Zoho Books as well, that you might want to see the transactions financials for 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever you want, you can do that. So I go to reports. Now let's open profit and loss. I selected by years and I click on run report. See, my numbers from 2009 till date, they are giving me entire financials, and whatever I want, I can drill into it. I'm not restricted that since it is prior year, I can just view it. I cannot get into the details of the transactions. You see, wherever you take your mouse, all the transactions can be drilled to the entry level. So when I clicked it, it got me to all the transactions entered into this ledger. And now if I drill further, I get into the transaction itself. So be it any prior year, it holds the data till the time you are using the software. If you stop paying for the software, still your transactions are available. I think your login is active and you can at least view your transaction or pull it in spreadsheet, I think for 1 year. It allows you to keep your books for 1 year without even paying them. Now,
So basically, if once we have paid for using it, so the storage is not a problem. That same data will be there till the time we have the license, and even when we stop the license, it will be there for 1 more year. For us to maybe extract it all in maybe a spreadsheet or an Excel export, right, and then save it separately.
So here I will have to say one thing. If you're talking about for free Zoho Books, which is available for chartered accountants, you're absolutely right. Otherwise, if your client goes and purchase it, you go to zohobooks.com, zoho.com or zohobooks.com, there you have pricing options. In the pricing option, they give you all the features available with different pricing options. There you see certain limits. So based on your need, based on what you think is your quantity of transaction, your quantum of transaction, you can choose the plan. But whatever you have chosen, once you have entered the data, once they have allowed you to enter the data, those data are always over here, even for years. We have QuickBooks for clients for years, like might be for 20 years, 15 years, all the transactions are still there.
Fine. See, then, thank you. Next question. Yeah,
Can we
continue.
enter share market investment transactions with quantity in Zoho? If possible, request to explain. Darshan, this is like you can surely, like all your invoices, everything is based on your quantity, amount, whatever you want to enter. So I would say you that your share market investment transaction is highly possible over here, but then it's like you using all the things for best of your needs. Every cloud accounting software have multiple options to do one particular thing. You need to choose the best possible option which suits your need. So if you're going to invoicing over here, you create a new invoice over here. What you see over here, you have options of quantity, rate, items, everything. So that though these things will, when you are purchasing shares and you might not be trading into it, it is your balance sheet item. So you might not like in balance sheet, it shows all together as one item, right? But then when you go to the reports, you have a report separately for your item wise detail, wherein you can see your items, which is your stock. Then you can see your quantity, which you purchased or sold by item each, and then you see the amount. So you have those options, because if you use that as an item, you have all the possible option, averaging it, then like averaging the price, or FIFO, LIFO. So you get all those options. So yes, you can use it for your share transactions as well, to the best possible way you can. So once you try it, if you face any problem, you can always call me. How to pass entry of TDS on expenses in Zoho Books? Once, so that is very easy. If you pass an expense entry and it gives you an option, like you have that option over here directly, wherein you can enter the TDS. If your TDS is on for the particular customer with the sections and everything, you will see that, just a minute. So since this particular, like when I choose the customer, or I don't need a customer because it is an expense. So when I go to that expense, advertising and marketing, I need to ensure that I have TDS feature on for that particular item, that yes, TDS is applicable for that particular expense account. And then when I go and choose it, I see that I am able to distribute the expense with the TDS as well. So when you go and try to create that expense account with the details of the TDS, you see over here that you get an option to manage it. So also you have an option over here of bulk add expenses. So if you have some spreadsheet prepared and you want to enter all the bulk transaction together, you can enter that as well. All the transactions together. जैसे अपना पहले होता था ना, we had a register, धड़ाधड़ अपने entry करते थे. वो same options यहाँ पर available and we can add more lines, so that we don't need to go to that screen again and again by saving. So we can enter all the details, save it, and the entire transaction is entered.
For this bulk, we can upload a CSV as well?
Yes, you have that option. Just a minute. If you go, like, I think not from here. If you want to add, you need to go to vendor, and there's an option wherein you can enter upload bills. So you can upload bill from the files, like that can be multiple bills altogether. Same thing you surely have for expense, wherein you can upload a CSV file. See over here, upload expenses. Yep. So you come over here, you check the template, you select the file, you select it, and all of them gets uploaded. You should surely try to first check the their format. And when you try to upload it, it is always better that first you try to create a new expense. So suppose I want to upload the file, go to bulk add expenses, see what all fields are there and which all fields are compulsory over here. Whichever field is compulsory is marked in red. So you need to ensure while preparing spreadsheet, you have it in same format and you fill in all the details which are at least mandatory for you to upload the transactions. And after that, when you fill the spreadsheet and upload it, it gets uploaded. So you have that options over here. Like in most of the places, you find the options to upload from the spreadsheet or Google Sheet or from Zoho Sheets, whatever you want. In QuickBooks, instead of purchase, cost of goods sold is displayed in profit and loss account. How to see the purchase in QuickBooks in profit and loss account? It's all the same. If you're using the, like they have headed the expenses, like the cost of goods sold, purchase part as cost of goods sold. That is the major category. That is something which is auto created by QuickBooks. But then whenever you use the inventory feature, you create items which first goes to inventory, and then when you sell that product, it will auto take as a purchases a part of cost of goods sold. So basically cost of goods sold is just a section which they have divided to say that this is your like kind of sales, then cost of sales and gross profit, and then the expenses. So it is just a major head, but all the purchases, ledgers, whatever you want, you can always create it over here. There's nothing such as restriction which will not allow you to create a purchase account separately and see it. You are always free to do that. So I think all the questions are answered. And whatever feature I quickly wanted to show, I think I have managed to show that. One last thing which I'll show in QuickBooks is budgets. QuickBooks also has option for you to enter budgets, both QuickBooks and Zoho Books. So if you want to, if you are suppose sitting in 2021, you want to create a budget for 2022 or for next 2 years or 3 years and add it in the books, you can always create those budget and add it over here so that you can have a profit and loss compared with your budget as well. And those reports are ready over here. You don't need to create a budget and open a profit and loss and then compare it. Once you add the budget, you see when you go to profit and loss, when you go to your report section, you have a report which says budget versus actual or just the budget overview. So you can see those reports as well. So I think by this is endless. I can go and speak for like hours and hours, because this software, like we provide training on this software as well, which is around 10 to 12 hours of course. By just giving 1.5 hours, we saw that we could see so many features. So when we go for training, many people have questions, because since we need to build the concept of the person who is taking the training and then show them each and everything, taking out from their mind what they have from Tally or other cloud account desktop software. So that is where we spend the time. Otherwise, teaching these softwares or learning by yourself on these softwares are very easy. You have so many videos available in YouTube, which you can easily listen and learn by yourself. These softwares, many small little things, wherever you face problem, you go to YouTube, you type in, you get those softwares. You can use their help section, or else if you still find problem, you can always contact me and I can help you. Like we provide training to chartered accountants, to graduates on these softwares. They are so surprised that, is this course only for 10 to 12 hours? I say yes. For any accountant learning any software, any accounting software should not take you more than 5 to 6 hours. We keep it maximum as 10 hours. But we see that if an accountant has the concept in mind, they don't take time learning these softwares. They are very easily driven. Everything is on your face. Wherever you want, you can just click. You don't need to remember the softwares. Everything is just on the screen. You see, you just have to scroll once. You just need to have all the entire dashboard view once and see where do you find what. You have everything ready for yourself. There's something which I cannot just type one link and send it to you. Type QuickBooks training module. You see all the QuickBooks training module available, QuickBooks Online. Type Zoho Books training module. You just type in that and it is available. So it's not a particular link. Whatever link you find good, I might find link one link good, you might find another link good. For one particular thing, you have more than one video. So it's very easily available. You just type QuickBooks online, or you just type Zoho Books, you get videos over there. You don't have to type extra keywords. So by this, I will end my session for today.